Dracula. Yes, Dracula, the bloodthirsty vampire. Now, you may have some questions like, oh, yes, Timmy. What's a Dracula? Dracula's a vampire from a really good novel.
Oh, so like Edward from Twilight, right?
That's why I'm here. I'll help you understand where Dracula's from, explain the plot, show some important symbols, motifs, and allusions. Dracula is such an important piece of literature because the plot represents the society we are living in today.
It all starts out in Transylvania, which is present-day Romania. Dracula has been planning to move to England and asks Jack if he would come and help him sort things out. Jack is creeped out by the fact that Dracula can communicate with wolves. Later, he realizes he's a prisoner and tries to escape. He gets discovered by Dracula's brides, and they try to seduce him and kill him, but Dracula saves Jack at the last minute. Jack realizes that Dracula is only keeping him alive for the real estate transaction and escapes the castle. He comes down with an illness and is not able to return home and stays in Hungary. Renfield, a patient in Dr. Stewart's hospital in England, he eats bugs and spiders and says the master is coming. And then Dracula arrives in England and Lucy is losing blood. Dr. Stewart sends Dr. Helsing to check her out and he figures out there's a vampire doing this. They try to save Lucy, but she dies. Lucy then becomes a vampire and the four men kill her as they catch her going to a village to purge. And they kill her very brutally. Jack gets picked up as soon as Mina hears from him as he's in Budapest. The group of men swear to kill Dracula. Mina has to stay in Dr. Stewart's office while they go hunt for Dracula. Renfield knows about Dracula and invites him into the hospital where Mina is, and the men come back to find Dracula drinking Mina's blood. They realize if they don't catch him in time, Mina will become a vampire. Dracula leads the men to an epic chase back to Transylvania where they finally catch up and kill Dracula. Morris gets stabbed in the side but manages to help kill Dracula. He dies a noble death and Mina gets saved and Dracula dies.
And after this you may be like, okay Sebastian, a book, great. There's books like Twilight, shows like The Vampire Diaries that I would much rather watch if I was in the mood for vampires. But these books or shows do not represent or have the setting in which Dracula was written. Dracula was written in 1897. This was full of inventions and modernization. The book takes an advantage of this and makes a setting a time where everyone is scared to touch a typewriter or thought that a phonogram was a device sent from the fiery pits of hell. Even when readers read the blood transfusions that took place, it seemed very odd because of the time the book is written. Shorthand even seems strange nowadays. Yes, Timmy. Sir, those things are all outdated. What do they have to do with, like, modern things? Great question. These things are old and we have computers and cell phones and all these great things. Yes, Dracula is outdated, but the context isn't. You guys have hoverboards nowadays that you can just ride around and have fun, and there's being legislature passed on them because people are scared to accept the future and modernization. We had Heelys when I was a kid, and my mom wouldn't let me have some because she said I would bust my crap. Not only was that 10 years ago, but it's still going on today. It was automatically dismissed by social media because can it not really understand a baby? Stupid, right? Outrageous. Almost as stupid as thinking a device could actually detect smoke and save your house and your life from a fire. I hate it when people invent stuff. God. Dracula is still important because the context they live in is what we are living in today. They dismissed things that could have had a purpose, just like we were doing today. They thought that writing things out was easier than relying on a keyboard that will punch the letters for you. The work of Dracula may be outdated, but the context is.
Like I'm gonna